Hello fellow geeks and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I'm glad you're here today. Whether this is your first video or your fifth video, make sure that you have hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the great running content that I have coming out all the time. Today I want to talk to you about something that quite a few people have asked me about over the last year or so that I have been on YouTube, and that is, what is a good way to balance family and running? And that doesn't just have to be family, it could also be work. If you work full-time and you tend to have a fairly high level of commitment to your job, but you also want to pursue running, there's a lot of different things that can occupy your attention and your mind, and people have been asking me, how is it that you're able to strike some sort of a balance? Now, for those of you who don't know, I am a stay-at-home mom of two, the older of whom has been virtually learning here at home for the past year and a half or so. So yeah, my days can be pretty full. However, I have been working over the past few years to try and cultivate a sense of balance between running and my commitment to my family. So let's talk just a little bit about how that may look for someone like you. The first rule that you need to keep in mind is that you have to make time. And this is something that I have said over and over when I've talked about getting started running or getting started walking or starting with any kind of exercise plan, that you have to actually make the time for it. You can't expect time to just open up in your schedule, because that's never going to happen. If you're waiting for a convenient time to exercise, or if you're waiting for the right motivation to exercise, that's not going to happen. It's something that you have to set out for yourself. Time and motivation are not things that can just be found. It's something that you have to schedule and then see through. Kind of like if you schedule a doctor's appointment, then you are going to show up for said doctor's appointment unless something catastrophic happens that's going to keep you from getting there. So it helps to actually make a schedule of when you plan on working out, whether it be 15 minutes to just do some quick core exercises, whether it be 30 minutes to an hour to get a good run in, or whether it's scheduling a couple of hours for a long run on the weekend. Have it set out in your schedule and make that schedule available to anyone who needs to see it. There are lots of programs on your phone that can do that. You can share calendars with other members of your family so that you can schedule in those workout times and they can see when you need to be available for that workout. If you're not able to keep up with a plan electronically, a lot of times if you just stick a training plan up on the fridge and write what dates you plan on doing those particular workouts so that people can see when you plan on working out. Clear those with people. Make sure that you are checking in verbally with other members of your family so that they understand when you need those times available to work out. Make it an actual part of your day and not just something that you figure you can shoehorn in whenever you can. The second tip that I have for you, and this is something that took me a really long time to get right, and that's to ditch the guilt. I always felt for the longest time that by taking time out to go and exercise, that I was really doing a disservice to my family, that everything was going to fall apart while I was gone. Why am I going out running when my kids really need me to be there? And the fact is, they don't need me there 24/7. They are going to be just fine for a little while without me. Or even if I just have to go upstairs for 15 to 30 minutes and do a workout and do some core exercises or something like that, and then come back downstairs while they are finishing their lunch, that is going to be fine. I had the hardest time doing this, trying to convince myself that it was okay to go out and take a run, that things were not going to fall apart, that things were going to be fine while I was gone. Once you're able to understand that this is something important that you're doing for yourself and that you don't need to feel guilty about taking time to take care of yourself, then all of a sudden things kind of start falling into place. I was able to start making actual progress with my running because I was able to let go of that guilt and start focusing a little on myself. It's okay to be a little bit selfish once in a while and take care of yourself, because the truth is, I can't take care of my family if I'm not taking care of myself. That's just the cold hard facts. And I can't take care of everyone around me and get things done if I'm not in the right mindset. And the only way that I'm able to kind of clear my mind and take care of myself is if I go out for a run and then I come back in and I am focused, I am ready to help, I am ready to do what needs to get done. But I've got to take out that time for myself in order to make that happen. So in short, the best way that I was helping my family is by taking care of myself. Another thing that I needed to do in order to get into the right mindset was know that it was okay to say no and not feel guilty about that. There are other activities that I am involved in with my kids, and sometimes I'm asked to take on responsibilities that I know I just don't have time for. And it's okay to say no to the things that you don't have time for, because I realize now that there are only so many hours in the day, and if I'm going to have time to run and take care of myself and my family, I can't take on extra responsibilities. And I have learned to let go of the guilt. And I know I just want to be so super involved in the stuff that my kids are excited about, but there are some times that I cannot take on the extra responsibilities, and that's okay. And then another thing is making sure that all of my family is on board for my recovery days. There are times when I just need to sit down and rest and not feel guilty about that too. So there are times when I can sit down and watch a movie with my kids or play tea party with my daughter or whatever. And that's all part of my rest and recovery. So getting them all on board really helps out a lot with that as well. So that's everything about the second point, is just getting rid of the guilt, getting in the right mindset of taking care of yourself. My third tip is get your family involved as much as you can. There are times when I will take my son out on a bike ride and I will run next to him. There's times when he wants to speed up and that makes me sprint. So it's a great little speed workout every time I take my son out on a bike ride. I know for a long time when my kids were really little, I would stick them in a stroller, and if I couldn't run, I would at least walk really briskly with them. So there are ways to get your family involved. My kids also love being involved on race day, watching me take off at the start line and cheering for me when I cross the finish line. They love being a part of the spectators at the actual races. So they get to feel like they are part of this, and so they know that when mom goes out for a run, that eventually they're going to see her at a race, and that's going to be a fun day. And if it's just really hard to get them involved, then at least know what your family's schedule is, and you can kind of work around that. If you know that your family's all going to be up at a certain time in the morning, then as much as it pains me, sometimes I have to get up early in the morning to get a run in, and then meet them all for breakfast and get them off to what they need to do during the day. So there is a way to get your family involved and just get their schedule involved and work around what it is you need to get done. My fourth tip for balancing running and family is to ask for support if you need it. If you need a friend to watch your kid while you go running for an hour, or a family member, I know that's happened a lot of times with me, that I've had one of my parents watch the kids just for an hour so I can go get some sort of a run or a workout in. It's okay to ask for help when you need help. And my fifth tip is, remember, two big components of running with family are going to be flexibility and patience. You have to realize that as much as you plan these things, nothing's ever going to go to plan perfectly. Sometimes your kids will get sick. Sometimes your young ones will be cranky, and you'll have to work around that. Sometimes you may have to cut a run short. Sometimes you just may not be able to get a run in today, and you'll have to put it off until tomorrow. But the point is that you still can pick it back up tomorrow. Sometimes you may have to take a long run and break it up into two shorter runs in the morning and the evening, or over 2 different days on the weekend. Sometimes you may not be able to do a full core and body workout, and you just may have to do a quick 15-minute core session. Sometimes you may have wanted to get a run and a workout session in, and you may have to pick one or the other. Sometimes you wanted to get a longer run in, and you may have to settle for just some short speed drill. Sometimes, and I know it's not ideal, but sometimes if you have a treadmill available, then you may have to use that. Wait until you're able to get the family to sleep and then go for a short run on the treadmill. So the important thing is to remember that you have to be flexible. You have to be prepared to let some things go, to turn things into other types of workouts, and just kind of roll with the punches. Just be patient with your family and be patient with yourself. Make sure that they are informed on when you need to work out and what you need to get done and approximately how long it's going to take you. So there you have it. There are 5 tips that I have for trying to balance both running and family. And again, it's not easy and it takes a lot of time. And for me, it took years to get my mind wrapped around the fact that my family does not have to be around me all the time and that I'm doing so much good by taking care of myself and then being able to take care of them as a result. If you have any questions or comments about this, make sure that you leave them down in the comments below. This is your second reminder that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the running content that I have coming out all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for watching. I'm so glad that you could be here today, and I can't wait to see you next time. Happy running. Can you say thanks for watching?
Thanks for watching YouTube. Give a thumbs up and click the subscribe button.
Good job.